everyone, I'm Daniela and I'm your host for Unmute Minds. Today I have a very special guest. This is Neha.
Hi.
It's so great to have you. I'm so glad you're here. So, today we're going to be discussing APs and the stress that can come with taking so many because as most high schoolers do, most of them actually statistically take 2 or 3, especially, or more in their junior year. I know someone who's taking 8. No, that's a lie. I know someone who's taking 10 next year.
Oh my god.
They're doing the history double block?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're doing that, and that is absolutely crazy to me.
That's actually insane.
No, it's not terrible.
That's terrible.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is terrible. So it can be a lot. So I currently am taking 4 APs. Do you mind telling us what APs you're taking?
Yeah, I'm taking 3 right now.
You're taking in 3? What are they?
Yeah, I'm taking AP Pre-Calc, AP Bio, and
AP Lang. Oh, wow. Which one do you think is the most work heavy?
the most work heavy, I think, is AP Pre-Calc. But I think the hardest one for me is AP Lang because I'm just not a great writer. That it's really bringing my grade down. I think that's the class I stress about most.
Any class that's writing heavy. That's why I personally couldn't. Have you ever taken an AP in history class?
Yeah, I take AP World, and then as soon as I was done with it, I swore to myself I would never take an AP History class ever again. That's why I'm in Honors US History. If I were in English, I would not be alive right now.
I've heard of the LEQs, the MCQs.
Oh, no.
The SEQs.
Yeah.
What else is there? FRQs.
They're all FRQs,
The
except for the
DBQs?
MCQ.
Oh, I guess you're right.
FRQs are just anything writing
That's
based.
just terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. It was terrible. Never take an AP History class.
Is that the advice you give to the audience?
Yeah, that's my advice for everyone.
Can we put that in sparkles and with a little unicorn flying on top?
Yeah, that would be great.
And if you're in an AP history right now, it'll be okay. We're here for you. It's okay. So, you said AP Pre-Calc is the most work-heavy one?
Yeah.
How do you manage? Because let me tell you, in my experience, I usually wait until the last minute to cram everything. How do you manage with the workload or that? Or do you do something similar?
I honestly do the very same thing, and honestly, I turn in my assignments late, a lot. Not always, but it tends to happen a lot because there's just so much work. We get assigned stuff online, and we get assigned worksheets too. So it's a lot of work, and I know I should be taking better care and practice time management and stuff, but it's just hard.
It's a lot, isn't it?
It is.
Don't you sometimes feel like there's so much that's assigned? It's not even that you don't want to do it, it's just you don't know what you have to do.
Yeah. It's not just for pre-calc as well. Even my regular honors classes too.
Especially our history class.
No, we get 2 or 3 assignments per unit, and they're not small assignments either. They're really big assignments. We have to answer 100 questions for each one.
I know for history, me personally, what I usually tend to do, and this isn't a very good thing, but I'll be in the library morning up cramming all of my guided reading with the book there. It's and I'll start something up if I can't find it.
Yeah.
That's not the best method to go, though.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a period of your time where you're actually focused? And I think the best periods of time in regards to that are times that you have a calendar or have some kind of track of your assignments.
I actually am trying to manage my time better now, and that's what I do. I put every single thing in my calendar. If I have a test on Sunday, I immediately put it in, no matter how far away it is. And my assignments as well, I put reminders for them, and that does help me way more than not doing it, because I used to not set reminders or put anything in my calendar, and it was just way too much to keep up with.
I'm curious. Do you think a digital or a paper calendar works best?
It really depends on the person. I know that when you write stuff down physically, then you're more likely to remember doing it, because when you write stuff down, it's better for memorization or something. But me personally, I don't want to have a whole book and take it out every class to write everything down. And it's just much more convenient to have everything on my phone because I'm always on my phone. So, yeah, it's there as a constant reminder to me to do stuff.
I think we can all relate to that last part of it.
Yeah.
Because it is easier, right? You have it on you. It'll be attacking you.
Yeah.
Basically with the vibration of the notification.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. But if I remember I used to try and put stuff on paper, but that did not help me in the slightest because yeah, I would remember that I wrote it down, but it's not there constantly reminding me to do it. And I had to like take it out as well to actually look at what I wrote down.
It's double the work.
Yeah, exactly.
And all for what? To be productive?
But I can definitely see it working for people. Like for people who are willing to like actually sit down and do their work.
So I have a question for you. Why do you think, like in the example of my friend who's taking 10 APs next year, why do you think people take so many APs? Maybe not to such extreme measures.
Okay, they're definitely doing it for. Okay, I can't say for sure, but most people do it for college credit. Like, they want to get ahead and they want their college application to stand out. And they wouldn't be taking it unless they knew that they could do all of it. Like, I know so many people who take 6 or 7 APs.
6 or 7 APs?
Yeah. And
that's a lot of APs.
Yeah. But I'm being so serious. I do know people who, like, their whole schedule is just AP classes. And I always wonder how they do it. But then I realize, oh, they're one of those people who, like they're in some of my classes and they are obviously very smart and capable. So I can see why, I understand why they would be doing those classes. But if you know that you won't be able to keep up with those classes, with that many AP classes, then it's better to just not take them. Because if you get a bad grade in an AP class, or just any class, that is going to bring down your overall GPA.
Definitely. And adding on to what you said, I have a question for you. Do you think it's better to take, for colleges specifically, do you think it's better to take 1,000,001 APs? Or do you think it's better to take APs that are specifically oriented to your career or future career aspiration?
It depends on how well you think you'd be able to manage them, but it's definitely better to take APs that are more oriented to what you want to major in college or just what you wanted to do as a job or career. But if you think you can take on more APs, like, then yeah, I think it's definitely gonna help you stand out better.
Because it's always a roll of the dice.
Yeah.
Because you'll hear a bunch of things, but it's not until you're sitting there with the pencil in your hand and the test in the other that you realize, ooh, I may have gone in a little too deep with this one.
Yeah, for sure. That's how I felt with AP World.
I can't imagine taking, because that class was difficult as is in honors, but that's simply because I always struggled with history. I've always found math and things that actually have a solution easier. But when it comes to reading, writing, or anything comprehension-based, it's not that I don't comprehend, it's like, I don't comprehend.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. See, I don't know why I took AP World either. I genuinely suck at history so much. That's like my worst subject. And AP World was like everything I suck at, like history, reading, writing, everything, all into one class. So, yeah, I don't know why I took that class.
But did you learn from it? Not just world history, but did you learn about yourself and the way you work with AP classes with that?
For sure. I learned that, like I said, I'm never going to take an AP history class ever again. And that was like my lesson that I learned from taking AP World.
I know that some of my AP classes have taught me how to research, number one, and there's others that have taught me how to absorb information quickly. I think that's a big thing about AP classes, and that in college you gotta absorb information like that, basically, and that's what AP I think teaches you. Did you take AP Human when you were a freshman?
Nope.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I regret that simply for that reason, to improve my study habits early on. It might have tanked my GPA.
Yeah, so I also regretted not taking AP Human, but I just know if I took AP Human, I immediately would have dropped out. And even if I didn't, I would have been getting like C's, like the bare minimum. Yeah, no. I'm glad I didn't take it now.
I think I would have done the same thing. I was a really dumb freshman.
Yeah.
I went through like a software update, I think between either freshman or sophomore, junior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good that you're improved now. Would you take AP Human now?
I don't think they allow seniors to take
If they allowed you to.
I don't think... Do they allow seniors to take it? I don't think so.
No, they definitely... If you choose to take it, then they will let you take it. They can't stop you from taking it.
Because I know a friend of mine tried to take AP Human, but it was... She was stopped by her counselor and said, no, it's only for freshmen, essentially.
Interesting.
I know, but I think it's just because they don't want a senior with a bunch of... They don't want one senior with 30 freshmen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that would be terrible.
Can you imagine, like, just getting into high school and then you turn around and you see this bearded man behind you doing the exact same
Yeah.
as you? I'm already scared, so I would be, like, twice as more scared.
Yeah, that would be scary.
Alright, let's move on to another topic. So, I think the biggest thing that we, as teenagers right now, struggle with is self-care, more particularly getting enough sleep. And drinking water.
Yeah.
But mostly getting enough sleep. What do you think some of the consequences, maybe not physically so much, but more so emotionally, that can come with that?
So, sleep deprivation, like, mental effects that it has are irritability. You're definitely more irritable when you didn't get enough sleep. It's very evident, especially when you walk into a high school full of students who are
Screaming 6-7.
Yeah, no. Imagine you only 6 or 7 hours of sleep, and then you walk into a classroom with a bunch of students screaming 6-7, 6-7.
They're taunting you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, yeah, that would definitely, I think I would definitely crash out.
I would too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh my god. I know there has been times where I have not been able to sleep, and I'm sitting there in history, and the words start, like, combining on the slide.
Oh my god.
Combining into on themselves. I'm like, what?
That's another thing. When you get less sleep, it also leads to less focus and concentration.
Oh my gosh. See, I'm already bad at that as is. I can't afford to be any worse.
Exactly.
The thing is that people don't realize how important sleep is, because I like to think about it as a reset.
Recess?
Reset. I guess also a recess too.
Yeah.
That is also another way to think about it. Like, you've had an emotionally, let it be physically or emotionally tiring day, and you just want to lay in your bed and forget about it. You get to log out of your life for seemingly 8 hours, but it usually feels like 5 seconds. It is so weird to me. That reminds me of sleeping in Minecraft.
Oh, yeah.
That's what sleeping always makes me think of. I know people like to, and that actually leads me with APs too. People like to stay up, and I have been guilty of this too.
Yeah, me too.
To try to study for an upcoming test or cram the night before. Do you think, like, wholeheartedly that that's really beneficial?
No, not in the slightest. Mm-mm. Sleep is needed to store memory and process everything you learn throughout the day. So if you don't let your mind rest and do all that, then it's not good for you or your grades, because you remember less.
You remember less, that's right. I know that when I was in musical theater, we had these listening quizzes every week where it was so... Well, first you had to listen to a song, then you had to answer a question about it. It was a very interesting class, I have to tell you. It was very interesting, but I know that for extra credit, you could answer all these questions about the musical or this or that or that. There were times where I would not get enough sleep throughout the whole week, and I'd get to that. I'd answer all the song questions fine, but then I get to the extra credits, I'm like, I remember talking about this. Everyone would be like, oh, this is so easy. I know that, because those quizzes were not serious at all.
Yeah.
They were the most unserious quizzes. They weren't even quizzes, they were summatives. They were the most unserious summatives ever. And I'd be like, oh, I know this. Everyone would be like, oh my god, no, this is so easy. And I'd be standing there like, yeah, and I'd write like pineapple or something to write something.
Yeah. No, I do that all the time. It feels like I'm the dumbest person in the room, except it's just that I didn't get enough sleep.
So I'm sure everyone feels like that at some point. It's not just a singular experience. I know that there's always at least one person sleeping in all of my classes.
Yeah.
Physics included.
I remember when I was taking physics, I used to sit in the very front seat, like in the middle, directly in front of the teacher.
Yeah.
It was not great. I used to fight so hard. I used to fight my sleep so hard. My eyes would literally feel heavy, but I would focus more on not trying to sleep instead of the actual lesson. It was not great.
That class sometimes does rock you to sleep.
Yeah.
At one point, his voice is just white noise.
Yeah.
He's talking about, alright guys, the moment. You could do like an ASMR video of what he's saying. The momentum of the linear acceleration. Okay, when you like mv equals mv2v, and then... I feel like if Mr. Hillier watched this, he would laugh.
No, I don't have anything against Mr. Hillier. Mr. Hillier is an amazing teacher.
He is.
Yeah. And he does everything in his power to help students. Like, I never see him outside of his classroom, ever.
Me neither.
Yeah.
He's always in there.
No, I actually... Do you remember when we had a fire drill the other day?
Yeah.
I saw him outside of his classroom. And I was so surprised. I had never even considered the possibility that Mr. Hillier goes out of his classroom. Yeah, it was definitely... Like, I had to do a double take.
Do you think he would have... Actually, I do think I'm capable of staying in there for a really important lesson. He would like put the blinds down, just like shut the lights off except for his monitor, and be like, "Okay, guys, okay, like don't tell the admin we're gonna stay in here, okay? We cannot afford to waste our time on this, okay?" So back to chapter.
No, he definitely does not care. I remember I had a first period, by the way, first thing in the morning. Can you imagine getting like less than 8 hours of sleep, less than 7 hours of sleep, and then you walk into Mr. Hillier's classroom first thing in the morning, and you have to take a test, or even just
exist.
Yeah.
In the classroom. No, it's tough. It's tough. The sleep does so much for us, and we take it for granted. It's so tough. I know that my first period is English, and I have a teacher who's basically doing jumping jacks every single day. A friend of mine has her 7th period, and so we like to say we do not have the same teacher, because by the time she gets to 7th period, she's done.
Oh.
She wants to leave. But in first period, she's like, "Alright guys, yeah, we're gonna have a quiz today. Pop quiz. It's worth 50% of your grade. Yeah, let's do this. Go."
She must be getting a lot of sleep every day.
Oh, I'm sure she does. I'm sure she goes to bed at 7:30 sharp. And I know that for a fact, and because she doesn't go home and grade stuff. She doesn't do any work outside of school.
That is actually so real and based. That's what I do, actually. I never do my work in my room. Even if after I come home, I hate doing work. So I do my work in the dining room. So
it's more professional that way. I feel like there's actually, I think I read a study that showed that you were more productive in a place like a dining room or an office or somewhere that wasn't your room or your bed.
Definitely, because you condition in your room, people usually spend time in their room like reading or just like on their phone, laying in bed, just doing nothing.
Doing everything except what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, exactly. So you condition yourself into thinking that your room is not for studying or doing work or anything. So the moment you try to do that, you literally can't. And that's happened to me a lot. That's why I think switching to doing my work in the dining area helps me a lot, especially since my parents are also there.
They're watching you like a hawk.
Yeah. They're not watching me, but it definitely feels like...
They are.
Yeah.
Do you think that junior year has lived up to what it's meant to be? Because I remember when we were freshmen and sophomores, they're like, "Guys, junior year, it's gonna smack you from the front. It's gonna smack you from behind. And it's gonna smack you in the middle."
Yeah. So I think, yeah, for sure. Because junior year, it's not just about your classes. You have to actually focus on college and SATs and ACTs. We actually have an ACT coming up this month on the 25th, and I didn't study for it in the slightest.
Everyone's getting a 36.
I didn't prepare for the SAT like at all. I have prepared for it a little bit, but not as much as I should be.
I think the toughest part of both of those exams, I don't think it's the content that they're testing you on, but how quickly can you do it?
Yeah.
And I think that's what colleges are looking at in terms of rigor. That is terrible, honestly. And I think junior year for me personally has also lived up to what it was meant to be because you know how how middle school teachers in 8th grade were like, guys, this stuff isn't going to fly in high school, okay? And you had 100% flies.
Yeah.
And not even more.
Yeah, they act like high school is going to be so much stricter and worse. They act like prison. But in high school, teachers literally don't care. People openly have their phones out.
Mm-hmm.
They literally do not care in the slightest.
Someone put a chair in the ceiling of my academy.
What?
Did I ever tell you about that? That's
think
how unserious high school is.
Yeah, no. I have one classroom where you know how people make little airplanes out of sticky notes or something and throw it at the ceiling?
Gosh. Freshman activities.
Yeah.
That's how you know a freshman has been there.
It's not even a freshman. It's not even a freshman classroom is the thing. But it's so colorful. The ceiling, it's just filled with sticky notes. And there are a bunch of sophomores and juniors and seniors in the class. Anyone but freshmen. I'm sure there are definitely like freshmen taking the class. But
still, I've never seen them in a classroom though. I usually only see them in the hallways.
This teacher does not care.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I didn't want to like openly say his name, but
if
you're
gonna put like a little thing that says like, with sparkles, IYKYK. I spelled that correctly.
You did.
Yay!
Good job.
Okay. Yeah, junior year isn't easy, but I feel like once senior year hits, we're gonna get senioritis, and it's gonna be great. We'll be like riding low until until May, and then we graduate.
Yeah.
And then we go to college. And then we have to become employed.
I don't like that.
You don't like the idea of having to become employed?
Yeah. Or going to college, actually. I wish I could just stay in high school forever.
Super senior. I've never heard of a super senior, though. Like an actual one. Someone who repeats senior year. I've never heard of that. Maybe that's just me.
I think there's just not a lot of super seniors, like, in our school, though. Because our school is, like, very competitive. So even if there's students who don't care about school that much, they still put in like the bare minimum and graduate.
Well, they still gotta pass their classes, right?
Yeah, I think like the minimum GPA required to pass school is like a 2.5, maybe.
No, I think it's a 2.0. Like
oh
even.
Wow. Yeah, so yeah, I think being a super senior is actually more impressive.
That's actually true. How do you get by failing all your classes without an intervention? Because I feel like my teachers put a stop to that really quick.
Yeah.
If you're failing every single test continuously.
And my counselor too, like, the counselors, they definitely try to help you as much as they can. Or they don't want you, like, ruining the schools.
That's another way to think about it, but I think it's mostly the first thing.
Yeah.
At least for mine. Mine is very sweet. Although she didn't give us ducks. And for registration, another counselor got ducks. But that was mine.
Oh.
So I'm really upset about that. What else? Is there anything you would like? I don't want to say aspiring juniors because everyone's going to be a junior, but rising juniors, rising sophomores, rising freshmen. Do you think there's anything that they need to know that you wish you had been told when you were starting high school?
Yeah, I think one thing is definitely don't slack off. Like, especially freshmen, you think, okay, for freshmen, they stress so much about going to this new school, like, new place. It's, like, their first time being in high school, and it's, like, completely new, and it feels more serious. But, so they're trying to adjust, but they need to focus on classes more.
I know I was a very unserious freshman, so unfortunately I can't relate to that because I didn't lock in until much later. So that would be my advice, honestly. If you are about to enter high school, you're already in high school, get ready for your future because it's coming up. I feel like it was just yesterday that I was in 8th grade.
Yeah, same.
Just yesterday I was in drama with Miss Williams and performing on that terrible stage.
Yeah. I remember I also took drama in 8th grade, even though I didn't want to. And I took drama 1, and there were a bunch of, like, 6th or 7th graders.
You're just finding can we get a 6-7 contour on the top right-hand corner?
Actually, can you put that in the title? Like 6-7.
I'll put in like tiny font near the end. So I think the biggest takeaway here is that junior year doesn't define your future. If you do amazing, great. If you don't live up to what you wanted to, also great. High school isn't supposed to be the learning experience. There's a reason they don't shoot you from middle school straight into college.
Yeah.
Right? There's a reason they don't employ middle schoolers. Not just because they're really not ready. High school is meant to be a learning experience. And while it is meant to be serious, it's okay to fall flat on your face. Because even though it is shown, lots of people do fall flat on their face. Whether they like to admit it or not. I know there have been times where I have fallen flat on my face because of, I'm not going to call anyone out, but a certain class that starts with P and involves momentum. But that was a long time ago. We're over that now. It's okay. It's okay. But it's okay to fall flat on your face. It's okay to not know what you're doing, even though you're a junior. Because you've still got your whole life. We're children. We still have our whole life ahead of ourselves, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think people forget that. Like, they think they need to do all these things. Oh, I need to get a job. I need to do internships. I need to do this and that. And yeah, it is good to do all of them. But if you're pushing yourself, like, too hard, that's not good for you. And it could actually turn back on you, and you might end up, like, dropping your grades.
And even so, if you're doing all of this to get into a college, like your one goal is to get into one college and then that college rejects you, and that's completely out of your control. You can do a million internships, you can mentor Jeff Bezos himself, and probably if the admissions officer had a tuna salad that they didn't like, that didn't sit right with their stomach with them, and so they're in a bad mood and their stomach hurts and they reject your application, what happens then?
Don't stress about it too much.
Be serious, but live your life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Is there anything you would like to add?
I don't know. Just reminding our audience that they're not alone with junior year. There's 400, and I think, hold on, I got this. 462 other people with you. I think that's our class size. Something like that.
Okay, yeah.
With you.
Just remember to sleep. Get a lot of sleep. For probably like more than 6 or 7 hours.
Leave 6-7 back in, oh my gosh. This is 2026 and we're going into 2027. We're in our 6-7 year. We're in our 6-7 year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
All right, then. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was great having you.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. Do you want to say our outro line up there?
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Until next time, unmute your mind and lift up the world. Bye. Woo! Man. Wow.
Hey, it's time to rise. At Pontevedra, let's light up the skies. With our hearts united, we're breaking through. Here's to the club where we celebrate you. When life gets rough and the road feels tough, remember the strength that you carry. It's in